Question number 3 asks, what have you learnt from your audience feedback? I created questionnaires, group chats, random chats with friends, opinions written on paper, and so on. I do not believe that my music video, digipacks, or even my magazine adverts would have been as effective without my audience feedback. During the beginning of my coursework, I decided to ask my entire media class, which is a class of about 15 females, ranging from the ages 17 to 18 years old, what emotions they felt after listening to my chosen song, Jhené Aiko, Stranger. I then collected them when the song finished. Above are the common responses. Evidently, from my audience feedback, it had a large impact on my music video because what the majority said is what I decided to include in my music video. For example, lonely walks, depressed girl sitting at home depressed, girl in white, flashback scenes, and a boy continuing to fade. In my music video, yet again, I gathered from my audience feedback that my target audience did not like the idea that Bemi was included in half of a shot in 1 minute 37. Due to this feedback, this allowed me to change the shot, replacing it with another. Thankfully, this response is particularly relevant to my production as it allowed me to gain an insight whether the combination of my scenes were as effective as I thought they was. Moreover, the feedback I received that my audience did not like the idea that I included the black and white effect at 0.3 minutes 4 in my first music video. I was then forced to remove this effect and return it to normal. This was yet again relevant to the production as it challenged mainstream conventions of R&B/soul genre, where it said that typical conventions in R&B/soul music involved black and white effects, as it allowed me to judge whether the effect was engaging and effective. However, it wasn't. However, what most interested me was the fact that the majority of my target audience felt that the best aspect of my music video was the narrative. This made me consider the uses and gratifications theories, in which audiences actively consume text for certain purposes, as they related their personal feelings, life experiences, and built a relationship with the characters in my music video. I noticed that one of the feedback included, I can relate to the narrative. This suggests that this person, a girl, has related her own personal experience with the artist Bemi, who was heartbroken in my music video. From my audience feedback, it presented to me that I had good actors. This indicates that I had planned and shortlisted potential actors/actresses precisely. I correctly selected the actors who were Bemi and Lewis, as they captured the narrative involving love story. The majority of my feedback revealed to me I had an excellent choice of music. I am pleased with this because my target audience enjoyed it, ignoring the fact that she's a mainstream artist and not well established. In my analysis, I did identify that I believed that using a song by mainstream singer was more beneficial. In my digipack, evidently from my audience feedback, it presented to me that the majority of my target audience felt that the close-up images of the artist Lola Cruz was very attractive, and moreover they felt that her eye contact attracted them to the album especially. I was happy with the results due to the fact that my close-up of the artist was effective and drew them to the cover. Some of my target audience revealed to me that the font I used went well with the genre. I was happy with this because it shows to me that I had followed the conventions of an R&B/soul album cover effectively, therefore allowing them to identify the genre easily. One of my feedback was simple yet effective. I was pleased with this because I did not overcomplicate my album cover on purpose because of my secondary research of album covers. It presented to me that it was very simplistic. For example, Beyonce's Halo, Beyonce's I Am Sasha Fierce's album. Especially the fact that they were all portrait-based covers, which is what inspired me to replicate this and also make my album cover a portrait-based cover. Evidently, from my audience feedback, it presented to me that the majority of my target audience felt that the colour scheme of the red title Stranger and the red colour of her hair was very effective. I am very pleased with the results, as I purposely included the colour red to connote love, which clearly relates to the lyrics of the song Stranger, which is present on the cover. However, it was clear to me that from the feedback from my target audience suggested that I did not include the logo of the record label, which made it lack authenticity. I therefore did not hesitate to include the logo. This made me make my final decisions about my digipack in order to produce one that increasingly appealed to my target audience. In my magazine advert, it had been stated to me from my audience feedback that the artist's name was smaller than the album name. However, I purposely did this because I was trying to promote the album by increasing the size of the text to make the audience aware. In addition, I conformed to a portrait-based album cover to promote the artist Lola Cruz. With the combination of these two justifications, I overlooked that feedback because it was part of my vision. Unfortunately, the audience feedback was not very useful in terms of that statement. In contrast, I have taken this point into consideration, and next time I will ensure that I cover this point. It is to my understanding that my music video did range in sizes depending on the scenes. Therefore, this left me with no choice but to refilm the scenes that were increasingly different from the others. Evidently, my target audience feedback presented to me that it lacked authenticity, therefore leaving me with no choice but to refilm.